Hi guys. So I just wanted to quickly show you what I've been working on for the past few weeks. As you can see on the top, it's called NixOS-Manager. And the idea is to be able to configure your NixOS system graphically, without using the command line. The reason being not that I hate the command line, it's just that currently there's no way not to use it with NixOS. And I wanted to explore how to do that, how to make it possible, and also try out a new framework I wanted to get to know. So I thought this would be a good test case for that. So there's three tabs, as you can see on the above. Let's go through them one by one really quick. The first one is administration, and just like with NixOS, in the manager you make changes, and they will not be applied until you explicitly rebuild the system. So what we have here at the top is a front end for NixOS rebuild. You can select a few options, the first one being the build type. By default, this will be switch. Here is a description, basically copied from the man page. You can also select dry build and dry activate, as you can see the description changes. You can also specify to download update or to roll back your system. Of course, they are exclusive. And if you're ready, so this button will change if you have changes. Currently, I don't have any. But if you're ready, you can click it. Then I will type in my sudo password. It'll show a progress bar and a cancel button. And if it's finished, it'll show that it finished successfully, hopefully. If it does not finish successfully, you can expand this. Well, it's called expander in GTK. And then you have the standard output and the standard error. This will hopefully contain some useful information in case of an error. Let me contract that. So you have a way to rebuild graphically. Below that, we have a way to collect garbage graphically, which is also necessary from time to time, with just one option to remove all the old generations too, which, as it states here, this makes rolling back, of course, impossible, so it's not the default. But again, you can push the button, look at what it does, and hopefully see it completing successfully. The next tab is add and remove, or just browse software actually. You can search for packages. Let me search for Glade, which is like a user interface designer for GTK I've used. Then a list will pop up that is currently pretty poorly sorted actually, sorry about that. It'll show packages with their name, then optionally their path, their description, which some packages like libglade don't have. This one does. And then optionally with a flag if it's installed or something. Why this path? Well, as you can see here, libglade, for example, shows the path because it's not the same as the package name. There is actually gnome2 libglade and xfce libglade on the bottom here. If I click on, for example, Glade, I'm interested in Glade. I have three buttons here. The first one being try without installing. This is actually quite neat. This will build it, so it'll call nixbuild, and then try to execute it by looking at what's in the binary directory and what's the package name. I could try that. Oh yeah, okay. So this was quite fast. You have to trust me. This actually just opened Glade. I'll close it again. If I decide, well, yeah, let's try Glade, I'll mark it for installation. It'll say marked for installation. If I want to see all packages marked that way, I can select some from the drop down here. It'll say, okay, Glade is now marked. I can also see which packages are installed, which are just these two. And if a package is installed, I can mark it for uninstall, and it'll appear in this list. So this is it for adding and removing software. Then there is configuring your system. The idea behind that is I take all the options that NixOS has, so like for services, for Nix itself, for programs, for hardware, and I categorize them and make them searchable and display them here in an editable form. So here we have all the services that NixOS provides, which actually are quite a lot. Well, let's take like asterisk here. Oh, sorry about that. And on the right, you can see the title of the service we're editing and all the configuration files, all the configuration options regarding, in this case, asterisk. For some, we have a nice GUI. So if an option has a type like bool, I can like show this widget, which is nice. So I don't have to type true or false. For other types, there is no widget yet. So strings, this one is a string. I can of course edit simply. For stuff like list of strings, well, there will be a widget, I suppose, in time. Until now, you can just type some Nix expressions here. So you can type list of A and B and like that. And this will like verbatim will be copied into the Nix file, so be careful. It's just a fallback. And as you can also see, for some options we have a nice description and there's even some markup. So this is a monospace font, which is nice. The default category will be services, but there's also hardware with, I don't know, ACPI Lite you can enable. And there's also programs and boot. And also Nix itself, of course. There's global options like auto optimize store or something, or GC, automatic, turn it on. And that's it. Thanks for listening.